Welcome back to the GymCrafter YouTube channel, everybody. My name is Tim. I am the head gym nerd here at GymCrafter.com, and I am also here at Home Gym Con 2025 here in Louisville, Kentucky. It's Thursday night. I'm here before the show opens. I'm getting some time in with this equipment without anybody around, without the crowds, and really taking a look at some stuff closely here at the show. I am standing in the RitFit booth right now, and in all honesty, I was not planning on bringing you any RitFit content until I came to the booth and saw what they had to offer. RitFit brought prototypes, and they have two cool new machines here that have some very unique features that I really want to show you guys. Over here, we've got their Buffalo. I believe it's going to be a Buffalo 2.0. I'm going to put links to both of these in the description of this video once these are available for sale. These aren't even on the RitFit website yet. I've got general pricing for you on at least one of them, but the upgrades and things that RitFit has done to these two machines has really shown something that sets them apart in the more budget level stuff. Is RitFit actually listens to what you and I say. When they send this stuff out to reviewers, not only do they do it for marketing reasons, they also do it because they want our feedback, and then they go back and they actually implement our feedback. This is one of the few budget level companies that actually makes and designs their own stuff. They're not white labeling things. They're not just taking stuff off of Alibaba. Most of the other entry-level companies that you'll see here at the show and elsewhere are basically white labeling things, where they're really not putting a lot of design and innovation like RitFit is. So like I said, I wasn't planning on showing you anything from RitFit, but you'll see when I show you a couple of the features here and there that they've really stepped up their game. And for those of you trying to build out your home gym on a budget, and I know a lot of you guys have asked me, hey Tim, you know, I don't have the money to spend $2,500 on a Dane. I don't have $5,000 to spend on an Aries. You know, I don't have that. It's not going to be in the cards for me, but I want to get a nice all-in-one home gym. I'm going to go back to saying that if you're going to shop at this level of product, RitFit once again has shown me that they are the ones to look at. Also, all four of the people that were here today, their whole marketing crew is here today, all really care about feedback, really listen to feedback from us, feedback from customers. There was some early access VIP people here today, really wanted to know, genuinely wanted to know our feedback. So like I said, as far as this level of stuff, RitFit's a great way to go. But without talking more about RitFit, let's actually get to these products. We're going to start over here with the Buffalo. So the first Buffalo, which is still available on RitFit's website, was RitFit's attempt to address your complaints and a desire for a heavier duty, beefier product. You wanted more than 14 gauge steel. You wanted something that was more than 2x2 upright. So what they did was on the first Buffalo, they went to a 2x3 upright, and then they went to 12 gauge steel, which is going to be a little bit beefier than the 14 gauge that you're used to. It's not quite 11, but keep in mind, in order to keep things at a reasonable price point, you really can't use 11. 14 gauge throughout, but 13 on the front is what they did with the Buffalo. They went to a plate-loaded cable system with a 2-to-1 ratio, and then you're going to be able to have the Smith machine on here and typical all-in-one trainer type of a deal. So what they have changed in this particular unit is, number one, they have added weight stacks. So you actually not only have weight stacks that go up to 143 pounds on each side, but you also have plate horns on there to add plates. You don't need to get a weight stack pin, so you can actually get a lot more weight on there. And with these guys right here, they have added both a 2-to-1 and a 1-to-1. I love when companies do this. So one of these is a 2-to-1. Going to give you longer cable travel, and it's going to give you, you know, a 10-pound plate's going to feel like 5. It's going to give you those nice smaller steps for functional trainer movements like flies, crossovers, things like that. If you want to go heavy, you basically connect these two together. You wouldn't pull two handles like this, but you connect these two carabiners together, and now I have a 1-to-1. So a 10-pound plate feels like a 10-pound plate. Another nice thing about having this is, one of the things that I like about my Bells of Steel cable tower is I like doing alternating. So this allows you to do alternating movements and have a hold and a static stretch, which is where your muscles grow the most, while you're doing the other one. I love training like this. I really like that they added this to these. Same beefier J-cups. I would still say that the safety spotters need to be a little bit deeper, but with those few changes, adding the ability to have a weight stack, a selectorized weight stack, for those of you who have never used either one, or maybe you just have plate loaded, especially with a Smith machine where you're constantly ducking under the bar to get to the plate-loaded weight horns to use it. What you find is that over time, a lot of people don't end up changing the weights that they should. They end up stacking all the weights on the outside because they don't want to go inside, and then there's some imbalances and some wear over time. With the weight stack where you just have a pin, it's so much nicer, guys. So again, I'll let you know when this goes, I'll put it down in the description when this goes on sale. But from what I can see, they have really taken a lot of feedback from their customers, integrated it into this, and then also, I don't know if it's going to be on the production model, but they've got some really cool graphics down on the weight stack, which I will show you in the B-roll. It's not a Buffalo, it's a bull, but it's still pretty darn cool. So that's the Buffalo. Let's go over to the M2. So here we are at the M2. This is going to go back to a standard 2x2. This is going to be either an upgraded version of the M1 or a new version of the M1, or they might both still exist together. And what they've done here is they've done a few things. Number one, RitFit is really upping their game with attachments. They've got some really nice cable attachments. You've got some anodized aluminum attachments back here with really good knurling. These are not your typical budget level attachments. Super nice. Those are going to be sold separate. This is going to be a rack that's going to allow you to, from what they tell me, for in the $2,500 or less, depending on how you configure it, actually configure what you want. So for example, you can see rotating jammer arms on here that are going to have a ton of different adjustments on them so that you can actually functionally use the jammer arms on here. If you don't want these, you don't add them to the system. But the big thing for me, you've got your weight stack, just like on the Buffalo, they added that with the weight stack with the weight horns. But the big thing for me is this Smith machine, and I don't know if you can see this here. It goes forward and backwards. So this is what they call a 3D Smith machine. And you'll see this on some other manufacturers, but this is the first time I've seen it on this level of product. And this thing moves really, really smoothly. So why would you want that? As you guys know, if you watch the channel, I am not a huge fan of Smith machines. And one of the reasons for that is the bar path for natural human movement is almost never straight up and down. Now, a very good looking, pristine squat from somebody with good mobility, typically that bar will move straight up and down. Outside of that, your bench press, your rows, your overhead presses, whatever else you happen to use this Smith machine for, if you were to use a free-floating barbell, then that bar is going to move forward and back as well as up and down. And what this allows you to do is this allows you to have a Smith machine, and in addition to having the perceived safety that you guys like about Smith machines, when I move with this bar, if I move forward and backward, it's going to move with me, and it's going to kind of be a nice in-between between a Smith machine and a barbell. So if you're used to training with barbells, but you've got people in the house that want a Smith machine, this is going to give you a lot more freedom. Now, for those of you who like the stability of a Smith machine, you are actually going to be able to lock this in the forward position. There are two pop pins at the bottom. So if you want your normal Smith machine where you can actually push against the resistance front to back and not have it move, because it is harder to lift because you're using many more stabilizer muscles when it moves forward and back like that. But you have the option of having it move or having it not move. And that to me is probably one of the coolest new features. And again, just like I showed on some of the other Smith machines here, when I lift one side, they both go up and down. There are some Smith machines here, even from some companies that I like, where when you lift one side, the other side just kind of stays, and it's very uneven. And I was actually really disappointed at a couple of the Smith machines here. I know a lot of you guys have asked me to show you the Smith machines here, even though I'm not a big fan, but this one is relatively good for this level of equipment. So again, wasn't looking to show you guys RitFit, but hopefully you can see from those couple of features and those upgrades why I wanted to show you this. Like I said, they're doing a great job of listening to you guys, keeping things reasonably priced. And what I'm looking on the other side of the camera, which I may show you here during the show, is they're also doing a ton of custom colors and customizations and things that will make your gym kind of yours and personalized, which you're not going to get with a lot of other manufacturers. So with that said, there's your RitFit preview with a couple of prototypes that you're not going to see anywhere other than Home Gym Con. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. If you have any questions, pop those down in the description below. I will also put links to both of these in the description. Those will be affiliate links. You guys using those affiliate links is what allows me to come take trips like this, to show you these prototypes, to show you these new products before they release. So hopefully appreciate that. So if you do decide you'd like to buy one of these, make sure you use those links. I really appreciate it. As always, I appreciate you watching the channel. And until the next review from right here at Home Gym Con 2025 in Louisville, I'm Tim with GymCrafter.